On September 5, 2017, the Trump administration terminated DACA and prevented new eligible candidates from applying for protection under the program. Additionally, this decision has left over 800,000 immigrant youth in a state of uncertainty and fear for their future. Two years later, immigrant youth and their allies continue to demand permanent status for those with DACA, while also denouncing the Trump administration's dishonorable decision to terminate DACA. On November 12, 2019, the Supreme Court will be hearing the first round of oral arguments on the legitimacy of the administration's decision to end DACA. Ultimately, the impending decision on this termination or continuation of this program will deeply impact the history of this country for years to come. This video was made in hopes of illuminating the different stories of a few DACA recipients while also offering support in our continued fight for permanent residency. We also hope to remind those with DACA, TPS, DED, or undocumented status that you matter and your home is here.
If DACA is terminated, how will that impact your life?
If DACA is terminated, my dreams would be crushed because I would not be able to continue higher education, and I won't have a driver's license or a social security number, so that would definitely change my perspective in life.
If DACA is terminated, all DACA recipients will have to go back to living in the shadows and fear.
If DACA is terminated, I will be living in fear again as I was since the beginning.
What is one thing you have accomplished that you couldn't have without DACA?
I would have never known what it's like to take care of someone who's dying. I would have never known what it's like to see the gratitude in a family's face when they tell me, yes, this happened, yes, my loved one died, but you were here, thank you.
With DACA, I have accomplished a sense of validation in this country and as well as hope for my family and future generations.
With DACA, I was able to get a higher education in order for me to continue and pursue my dreams to help financially support my family.
What has been your experience with having DACA students in your classroom?
So one of the biggest predictors for college success is grit. And our DACA students have grit and perseverance all over, inside of the classroom and outside of the classroom.
Working with DACA students is wonderful because as a group, they have some of the highest GPAs in the nation, so it's a pretty easy job.
DACA students in my classroom, I think that they are some of the most serious and dedicated students I have encountered in my classes, and I've been impressed with their ability to move forward to serve the Trinity community as outstanding student leaders.
I love having DACA students in my classroom. They are academically motivated, genuinely compassionate, and incredibly brave, and their presence in my class creates a more positive learning environment for all of us.
My experience has been great. So from a health services major, some students are scared because they don't know what they can do once they graduate. So just trying to guide them into different organizations that are going to be able to assist them and actually employ them after graduation, because that's a big problem right now.
If you could address all the DACA recipients all across the nation that are living in a state of fear right now, what would you say to show your support and encourage them?
So I would say to all DACA recipients and their families, you make our country strong. I'm awed by your courage and the sacrifices your families have made to provide a better life for you in this country. And I pledge to do everything in my power to follow your lead in creating a country that is welcoming of all human beings and that is deserving of your wonderful contributions.
Just keep going. We are all behind you. Seriously, we're all behind you, and it's gonna work out. Like, this is all gonna be okay. You guys are gonna be fine. and we're all supporting you.
I would tell them too that we're here for them, that we support them in any way possible, that although they're living in fear, I think it's important for them to educate others around them, because we don't really know, as citizens, we don't know sometimes the struggles that they're going through. As simple as going to the grocery store and not being able to come back home because ICE comes, or not being able to graduate college or get citizenship because you missed a deadline of something so simple, or that something that was, taken away with the administration that we have right now. So we're there for you.
I'm optimistic and confident that our political leadership in Washington and at the state level will realize how unwise and unjust it is to eliminate DACA protections. So I would encourage DACA recipients to do what they've always done, keep pursuing these goals and dreams both professionally and educationally.
I'd like to say that I understand that you're afraid, and it's okay to be afraid. And there are people out there who support you, and just keep persevering and don't give up.
What is one thing you would say to the Supreme Court judges if you could?
I would tell them to look at my situation and possibly think about me as their future nurse. And I would want them to give me an opportunity to have basic human rights here in this country.
I would tell them that I hope they understand how much more the uncertainty fuels our ambition, and that whether they decide to take away our protection or not, we will continue to overcome, we're going to continue to persevere, and we're going to continue to do what we do, because at the end of the day, home is here.
I've been living under my shadows for so many years, and so I hope that you can make that change.
Don't turn your back on our dreams. There are things that we can't help. Some of us were brought here before we even had common sense. It's not fair, but this is the world we live in. This is the life we were given. We didn't choose it. So now we have to make the best of it. Help us do that.
I wish that you could see just how much we are trying. We give it our all every single day, in the classroom and at work, because we want to be successful individuals to this country that we call home. And I wish that you could open up your hearts to hear our pleas as we march on November 12th, because we are here to stay. If the Supreme Court was to end the DACA program, what will the United States be missing out on?
They would be missing out on a doctor,
A nurse,
A nurse,
An occupational therapist,
a nurse.
They would be missing out on a global health advocate.
The United States will be missing out of thousands of ambitious people who just want a better future.